So Ex Nihilo is a brand that's rarely spoken about in the fragrance community, but hopefully with the release of Citizen X that's going to change. We're going to discuss this, plus a chance for you to win a sample if you're in the USA. Coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Looking, Feeling, Smelling Great. And that's right, Ex Nihilo is a brand that's rarely spoken about in the fragrance community, and they do have this new fragrance that's just launched called Citizen X. It's 2017 launch. It's an eau de parfum concentration. It's targeted to men, but ladies should be able to wear this one. They should be able to pull this one off, but definitely masculine. The nose behind this one is Dion Vasnier. The price is 50 ml at $225 and a 100 ml bottle like this for $325. I'll have a link to Lucky Scent below. You can pick up samples or bottles there. About a year and a half ago, I put out a video doing a first impressions of a lot of the fragrances from the Ex Nihilo brand. Those fragrances are Bois d'Hiver, Vetiver Moloko, Oud Vendôme, Rose Brie, Venom Kiss, Cologne 352, and Jasmine Fauve. About 3 years ago, I was in Paris walking on the Rue Saint-Honore near the Place Vendôme, and I stumbled onto the Ex Nihilo boutique there. They had just opened the store. I was told it was a couple of weeks. This was in January, about 3 years ago. There I got the samples of the fragrances, and those are the samples I used for my first impressions video. It's a ultra luxury niche brand that I think the community should definitely check out if you're unfamiliar with the brand. Definitely get yourself some samples or bottles at the link I've provided. For Citizen X, at the top we've got Mastic resin and white pepper. In the heart notes we've got iris. In the base notes we've got frankincense, ambery woods, and musk. So those of you that are not familiar with mastic resin, it's a resin that's grown in the Mediterranean. And I'm very, very familiar with this resin because it's also a resin that you can eat. And I grew up with it, especially when we had tummy aches as kids. We would be given mastic resin. And in the Middle East, there's a very, very popular mastic gum. So if you're at all curious about mastic, definitely check out the resin itself or the gum, because I think it's kind of a unique type of a gum, I guess. So with Citizen X, upon initial spray, it's all about the mastic resin, and since I'm so familiar with it, I can definitely pick it up here. But it's very well blended with the white pepper, so it's a peppery resin at the top. So that sprays on at the top, and then iris starts kicking in the heart notes, and it's slightly powdery with the iris, but it's not the kind of iris that you're probably familiar with in things like, or fragrances like Dior Homme line. This is more of a cool, crisp iris, but still powdery, but not overwhelming powdery. And then finally in the base notes, the fragrance starts drying down to a smoky frankincense, slightly ambery, woody, and musk. And ambery woody is not the kind of amber that you're familiar with, like your traditional warm and oriental type of amber. This is, again, very cool and crisp. And according to the research I've done, Citizen X is a modern amber / frozen amber. So the mastic resin with the white pepper is very cool and crisp. Sort of sparkly, tingly kind of a cool crispness. So it is warmed up by that iris, but the iris definitely is cool as well. I find Citizen X to be a very classy, sophisticated, dressy type of fragrance, but one you can wear to the office. One that's actually perfect for day and night. For the guy who wants a fragrance to stand out with, not to blend in with others, and to feel the elegant sophistication that comes with this fragrance. I also think that Citizen X will appeal most to an audience that's not too familiar with Ex Nihilo as a brand. This is the one that probably will start with and start working their way throughout the brand's other offerings. And I think this one would appeal to the guy that's thought about trying out Ex Nihilo but has decided not to, or the guy that's actually used to going to the department store to sample fragrances. So I find this to be very accessible by a lot more people than some of their other offerings that are more unique takes on styles of fragrances. The fragrance actually lasts pretty much all day for me. It is closer to the skin, doesn't have too much of a projection except for the first 1 to 2 hours. So I think this one's perfect for the everyday kind of scent, and you can definitely get away with wearing something like this at the office, and people will smell you, but they'll have to get really close to you to kind of get whiffs of the fragrance. I quite enjoyed wearing Citizen X, and I find it to be very classy and elegant, and I think definitely unique take on the amber genre. So it's not really an amber, but it's, you know, ambery, sort of. A frozen amber is what they call it. So I quite enjoy it, and I hope that you'll discover this fragrance and you'll discover the actual brand and, you know, start sampling some of their offerings. So as mentioned at the beginning of the video, we have a giveaway for 5 samples for 5 subscribers of Looking, Feeling, Smelling Great. All you have to do is please put a comment down below as to why you want to win the sample. Also, please write what you liked about this video review and also list your state. And in 3 to 5 days, we'll randomize the list, and the first 5 people will win a sample of Citizen X. All right, guys, what do you think about the brand Ex Nihilo and this release, Citizen X? Are you familiar with the brand? Are you familiar with this release? Have you checked it out? Are you curious to check it out? Please write down your comments so that we can start a conversation about Ex Nihilo and Citizen X. Also, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.